Hi, this is BJ Hathaway of Augusta Golf Instruction, and we've already done the previous video on the types of wrist cock. Now this one will be about why do you need to cock your wrist in the golf swing. Well, the major reason that we add any wrist cock is because, if you can imagine, you may have seen a few people with golf swings where the club just stays here. And as you can see, it's very dependent now on how far I can lift my arms or how far I can rotate my shoulders. But I think you could agree that that golf swing would have two sources of speed. It would have the rotation of the body and the travel of the arms. When we add wrist cock, what we do is we create another source of speed. So I think you would agree that this arm staying straight would have one consistent speed based on how fast I could move the arm. Once I add a cocking wrist, then it can straighten out, but that second lever can go faster than the first, so that creates speed. So could you use a golf swing with no wrist cock? Absolutely. If we look at a standard chip shot, I do not cock my wrist backwards. Why? Because I don't want another source of speed. I'm trying to hit a short target and get consistently close to the hole. Now I'll set up ball back, hands forward, creates an illusion that I've bent my wrist backwards, but I certainly haven't used standard wrist cock, which is up, right? So a chip is, for me, a no wrist cock situation. Now, pitch shots, as we know, are higher elevation shots that generally travel further. Could I hit a pitch shot with no wrist cock? Well, most people would tell you you have to cock your wrists, and I would say it's absolutely based on how far you need to hit the ball. So I will teach some beginners to hit a pitch shot with no wrist cock, because you can be at that level, you can be very consistent with a pitch motion that has no wrist cock. Once we add wrist cock, then we add again the variable of speed. So if I need to feel like I'm swinging at the same speed but I need more power, then I'm going to let my wrist hinge, and that ball will go further. So that's the reason we add wrist cock in a golf swing. Now, when and where you allow your wrist to cock is very much personalized on your type of swing. I would not say that there's one absolute way or place in the backswing where you have to cock your wrist. So you'll see a player like Ernie Els who appears to set his wrist early. You remember Nicklaus used to look like he didn't set his wrist till way up here. I would give you this one key point though. Whenever your right arm starts to fold, it tends to let the wrist cock by themselves, so you don't have to think about it. You'll see guys on tour who have this nice long one-piece takeaway, and through this section of a swing it doesn't look like they're setting their wrist. Then as they rotate the club around, the wrist set, and then you've got the guys who set a little early. Which one's right? Neither one. Which one's wrong? Neither one. The important part is, do they set if you need that for that particular shot? So just remember those things. It's not a certain location that you have to hinge your wrists, but if you want maximum power, then you do need to let the wrist set at a certain location based on the type of shot you need.